Grab your hat and let's go! Hello everyone, welcome back to Positive Comedy, and we are on day 2 of our LeetCode daily challenge, or at least for me it's day 2. Technically it's day 10 for the month, but you know, here we are. So, I'm not going to waste too much time though, so we're going to go ahead and work on the problem 2807 in LeetCode called Insert Greatest Common Divisors in Linked Lists. Last time I did LeetCode, which was yesterday, I was working on the Spiral Matrix 4, and as you can see, the tab is still open, which means I'm still working on it, so that's still work in progress. I'm pretty much just going to keep that tab open until I'm done with it. Hopefully I don't end up with too many tabs, but we'll see. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. So essentially, with this problem, I'm given another linked list, and it looks like it's a singly linked list, according to the comments that came with the problem. And each node of the linked list contains an integer value. Okay. So, between each pair of the nodes, we want to insert a new node with a value equal to the greatest common divisor of them. Okay, that part of the problem is extremely important. In fact, you know what? I'm going to underline it because it's that important, and I'll explain why. And then give me 1 second. I need to change the setting on my computer real fast. Okay, perfect. So, they're all crossed out. That's hilarious. Okay, so essentially, when I read this problem, I read this problem a little bit in advance before I started the stream, just so that I had a good idea of what I was getting myself into. So this tells me that I need to use a algorithm that can find this for me. So especially since I'm coding in C++, I'm probably going to want to know the steps of that algorithm. So essentially, to figure that algorithm out, this is easy if you have done, if you've taken an algorithms class before and you are familiar with some of the patterns. I know for me, I have taken an algorithms course before, but there's still some patterns I'm not familiar with, and this was one of them, surprisingly. So essentially what I did was I pretty much asked ChatGPT how to find the greatest common divisor of two numbers, because I knew this was going to be an algorithm and I just needed to know the name of it. And so it's the Euclidean algorithm. So essentially, I want to see if I can get this done on paper. It's just that I can understand this problem the best. Because essentially what we're doing is we have a linked list right here, right? And for each pair, we want to find the greatest common divisor between them. So in the example below, we have 18 and 6, which are these two. And then we have a new node that's inserted. And the greatest common divisor between them is 6. But in order to find that, we have to use the Euclidean algorithm. So now what is the Euclidean algorithm? So it looks like, at least when I was looking through this example, that you mod the two numbers, and then you keep doing that until you have a remainder of 0. So I kind of want to do this on paper, though, just to make sure that I'm understanding it correctly. So, hang on. Let me, there we go. Okay. Okay, so we have 18 and 6, right? So I'm going to go ahead and just have a box called, I'll just call it int1. Oh, wow, that is really, really short. Hang on. I'm going to bring this closer to me. Really short. I just called this short. I meant thin, but you know, I guess marker drawings can be short if they wanted to be. Okay, so I'll have a variable called int1, and then I'll just call it num for short for number. Okay, and then I'll have temp. Okay, so let's say 18 is my first number. Wait a minute. Well, I have 18 and 6. Is that right? I actually don't think that's right. Hang on, let me look at the, let's look at the the algorithm example again. Okay, let's say we have two numbers. So I guess I can have num1 and num2. So I'm actually going to write that as, on my board, I'm going to write that as num1 equals 18 and then num2 equals 6, because 18 was the first number in the linked list and 6 was the second one. Okay, now if we look at this algorithm example, so we have a while loop while b is not equal to 0, because at some point we're going to get 0 as a remainder. But we have another variable that's called temp, and we set it equal to b. So I guess I would save the number 6 in my temp variable, my temporary variable. So I guess I'll go ahead and write that down. So we've got temp equals 6. Okay, and then num2 would end up being set to 18 mod 6, which that's just gonna be 0. Right? Okay, let's double check this. Apparently it's been a little too long since I've done mod operations, which is hilarious, but it's fine. So I think, you know what? I'll just do it real fast. Okay. When in doubt, just run it in the code. I'll just return a random linked list. Why not? Okay. So let's just do int num, and then I'll set that equal to 18 mod 6. Okay, ignore that. Actually, I'll move this just so that's not confusing, because that's way too confusing. Right now, this code is scratch paper. Okay. So, I want to see what's stored in num. Is it going to save it for me? Oh, it's not going to save it for me. Well, fine. Okay. I'll just go ahead and print it. Awesome. All right, looks like I have a question in chat. Welcome, Solaris. Solaris asks, do you always use C++? You know, I don't. In fact, that's kind of a reason why I am using it for LeetCode practice, because I have used it in the past, but it's been a little bit, and so I have to review some of the syntax. But I do use C, so that isn't terrible. I have done a lot of C recently, but C++ is a little bit different. I mean, it is all the same, but there's additional stuff, like print statements are completely different. I guess I could still use like printf statements for C, but I wanted to get more familiar with what differences was added to C++. I use a lot of Python, of course, and then I also do a lot of game design in Roblox. So I've been doing that recently, so I'm a little bit rough with C++, which is a reason why I'm doing it via LeetCode. So great question. Also, if anyone has a favorite programming language in the chat, definitely feel free to share. Okay, so when I continue this, it looks like 0 definitely was printed, which means this makes sense why 6 was inserted as a new node, because when we use the Euclidean algorithm, which we were doing here, since num2 is going to end up being 0, our temp variable is going to end up being saved, because I believe when I was looking at the example, yeah, a is set equal to temp, which was 6, which is going to be returned because b is going to equal 0, because 18 mod 6 was 0 here. Okay, let's go ahead and code. So I'll go ahead and get rid of my markers. So I did a different approach this time. Yesterday, my approach was generating a broken solution and fixing it. Today, my approach is having logic in the form of comments. So I added all these comments before the stream started just to have more structure, and then see if I can get a working solution that way. And then for stuff that I need to review, like for example, I might need to review how to make a new node. I have some little examples from ChatGPT that can help lead me along the way. But hopefully this logic makes sense for everybody. So essentially what I'm doing is I need to save a copy, kind of like what we did yesterday. So I'll make a new list node. You know what? I'll name it current, just like yesterday, and I'll set it equal to head. Okay. And then we have a for loop. I'm pretty much just going to go through the linked list until we reach the end. Insert a node, use the Euclidean algorithm, put a value in the node, and then return the linked list at the end. All right, I see another question in the Twitch chat. I also just realized that I was coding without actually showing my screen, so that's kind of funny. Okay, so Solaris asks, have you solved the spiral matrix for after yesterday's stream? I have not yet. That is why my tab is still open. I ran out of time. I just will be honest. I ran out of time yesterday because it was a busy day. But I'm going to keep this tab open until I finish it. I was kind of laughing at myself because I did realize that my syntax for allocating an array was completely wrong, which was really funny. I was mixing my Python knowledge and my C knowledge together, which came out with a really wacky syntax. So I did fix that, which was fun. But currently the progress that it's at is I'm trying to access the matrix and it's going out of bounds, even though I have the bounds subtracted by 1. So I'm trying to figure that out. But I'm still going to be working on it. Pretty much just going to keep that tab open until I'm done working on it. And then when I am done working on it, I'll make sure that I put the solution in the YouTube comment section. And then I'll also mention it on Discord too. So good question. Okay, so let's go ahead and continue this. Let's see if I can remember how to do a for loop. Oh, we did it yesterday, right? Okay, I'm going to set I equal to 0. And then I think I just want to, Actually, let me think about how I want to do this. I could do a while loop instead. I think I actually want to do that instead. Okay. Because I can say while current.next or arrow next is not equal to null. I believe, yeah, there's brackets in this one. Okay. Cool. So this while it will help me go through the list until I reach the end. At least that's the point. Okay, now to insert a new node. Okay, I'll admit, I was looking at this earlier and I was thinking, oh shoot, do I remember how to make a new node in C++? So essentially I just went, I could have Googled, but I was like, this is a little bit easier. It was just faster and convenient. So I pretty much just asked, how do you insert a node in a singly linked list? Because I just completely forgot, was about to go on Stack Overflow, and I was like, this gives me some examples. So I know I want to insert in the middle. The biggest thing I was having trouble was figuring out how to allocate it, because every time you want to make a new block of data, you need to allocate it. And at first I was thinking about using malloc, but that doesn't work quite right with linked lists. That's really helpful for other things, not necessarily this situation. Okay, so essentially it looks like I use the new keyword, which I believe is a C++ thing, but I could be wrong because it's been a bit. I'm not sure if this is in C as well. I don't remember seeing it, but seeing it, get it? Sorry. Okay, that pun was just too good to ignore. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and make a, let's see, is this called, yep, it is called a list node. I'll make a new pointer, and then I'll name this new node, and then I'll set it equal to new. And then I think it was, let's see, what exactly is it doing? So, okay, so this part is the node that we can put data in, and then I feel like this, I believe this just allocates enough space for it. It looks like for this one, oh, it's putting a value inside of it. Like it looks like it's allocating it and then putting a value inside of it, which makes sense. Okay, cool. So, wait, is that really? Yeah, it looks like it uses the same name as this. Interesting. Okay. Well, we'll give it a shot. Okay, and then I'll put. Oh, I might actually have to move this around because I think we need to do the Euclidean algorithm first. I'll put num in there, but it doesn't exist yet because we need to actually calculate the number that we need, don't we? Okay. Perfect. Okay, so that made a new number, but we need to actually find the number. Okay, so one thing to note is that we only want to do this every time we come across a pair. However, we're always going to have a pair though every time we move, because yeah, 18 to 6, 6 to 10, 10 to 3, yeah. Okay, that's going to be fine. Okay, cool. Something I'm thinking is I might, honestly, I think I want to make it as my own function. So, wait, that's not how you do it in C. That's how you do it in Python. I think it was, I'll return an integer, and then I'll do greatest common divide, or divisor. Okay, perfect. Num1, num2. Perfect. And then I want to return, yeah, I'll return a number in here too. Okay. Okay, so essentially I would pass in this function. So let me go ahead and just pass it in before I forget. Okay, so it was called GCD, and then I'll pass in two numbers. So I'll definitely want to pass in, I think it's current value, and then current.next or arrow value. Okay. And then, oh, there's a really, really great question in chat. Okay, hang on, I will answer that. Just give me 1 second. Okay, so the question is, do they have a library for GCD in C++? In Python, it's just math import GCD. You know, that is a really, really good question. And actually, I know where to check. Here, let me actually check real fast, because I know there's a place called CPP reference, which I use a lot. So, you know, let me see if they have one, because it is possible they do. Hey, look at that. Okay, it looks like we do. You'd have to include numeric. And then this is an example of how to use it. So that actually is really not a bad idea. You know what? Let's give it a shot. I love that question. Because yeah, I know in Python you could do it. But it looks like you could do it in C++ too, so I don't have to make it from scratch. I think. Doesn't look like I do. Okay, I'm looking at how it's being used though. Let's see. Okay. So this is interesting. It's an interesting, the way you use it looks interesting. So for some reason it's being used in static assert, which is kind of interesting, but I'm not. Oh, okay. I think that is checking to make sure that it equals 2 correctly. That's interesting. Okay, you know what? Let's give it a shot. I haven't ever used this before. I'll keep this just in case if I end up wanting to make it, but we'll include it. Oh, I should actually do it at the very, very top, not below this block comment. I mean, I guess it doesn't matter, but I always just do it at the top. Okay, so I think it was include numeric. Okay. Hopefully it doesn't give me errors. We'll find out. Okay. And then I can try this. Okay, I'm curious to see what this is going to print out for me. So let's see. Oh, you know what? I think I can literally just do that, because I think it's literally the... Yeah, it's literally the same. Okay. Okay, but let me see what it... I wish I could see what it returns. Oh, if both m and n are 0, then it returns 0. Otherwise, it returns the greatest common divisor. Okay, good. That's really, really good. Okay, so if it returns the greatest common divisor, then it looks like I can just make int num, and then set it equal to that. And then I can make a node, put num into it. And I guess I can get rid of this because I already did that. Okay. Continue till end. I'm already doing that. Oh, actually, I did null here, didn't I? I should do null pointer. There we go. Okay. Okay, so, and then instead of head, I need to return current. Okay, now let me look at this again because I remember there were more steps. So I made a node and put something in it, but I believe I need to point the new node to the next of the previous node. Oh, that makes sense because yeah, I literally just made a block of data, but I didn't do anything with it. So yeah, that's a problem. And then yeah, so in the chat it says return after the loop. Okay, perfect. Yeah, it looks like I did that because yeah, I have my while loop right here, and the brackets right there, and then I have my return after the loop. Nice eye though. It's really yeah, because I have done that before. I have tried to return something an infinite number of times, which is not good. So yeah. Also, chat says, and so the Twitch chat also says, but the Euclidean algorithm is also very short in Python. And yet, yeah, okay, yep, you're exactly right. So yeah, I could have made it from scratch right here, but either way works. Honestly, if there's already a built-in function that does it for you, might as well use it. Every now and then it could be good to write it from scratch just to understand what it does, especially understanding the mod operations, and then saving the previous value until it's 0. So understanding that could be very, very helpful for anybody else working on the problem. But also being able to go through the documentation and find a function that already exists is very helpful too. So either way, it should work. Okay, so I actually literally just created a new node, but I didn't actually do anything with it. So let me do that real fast. So this creates a new node. Okay, and then let me look at this. So yeah, this points to the new node. I'm just going to go ahead and bring this over so I don't have to keep going back and forth. And at first I was doing after an odd index, but I don't think I need to do that because I am already kind of in between the nodes, so that's fine. Okay, I'll have to change the names of these, but that's okay. Okay, so essentially, I'm pointing a new node to the next of previous node. I don't know if that would actually work. Well, let me think about this, because I think this would just be current dash next. So yeah, new node is this guy. Point new node to the... Okay, hang on, I'm thinking this through. So honestly, it's been a little bit since I worked with linked lists, so this is going to be a little bit of an experiment, I think, for the last part of this problem. Okay, so I'm pointing... I guess this makes sense to the next to previous node. Okay, so let me actually draw this out. Okay, so we've got a node right here. I've got my new node just kind of out there in space. It's not connected to anything. And then I've got this node. So this is 6 and this is 18. Okay. But it also has a next property, which is this arrow, and I need to point this to the 6, which I believe is what 36 is doing. And then I point new node. Oh, wait. Hang on. Okay, this would be current. Point previous node to the new node. Oh, this is so confusing. Because at first I would think it would be... No, that doesn't make any sense. Okay. Current.next equals new node. But I'm not sure if it's going to connect 18 correctly to it. Okay. Let me go ahead and try it, but this part's a little bit funky. Let's see what it ends up returning. Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay. Oh. Whoops. Here, I'll comment this out since I ended up not needing it. Oh. I know why this doesn't work, because, man, my head is stuck in Python today. This is awesome. I always need to make sure that I have a type descriptor there. Okay. I'll just go ahead and run that. I guess I could comment that out too, since I'm not using it. Oh, yeah, duh. Okay. Okay. Okay, cool. Now we can play around with the actual syntax errors. Let's see. No member named value. Oh, gotcha. Okay, I just need to look at the comments then. Let's see. Oh, it was val, not value. Pretty sure. Okay. Because, yeah, I'm pretty sure it says, yeah, it's val. Okay. That's fine. Okay, let me make sure that was the only one. Okay, perfect. We're gonna go ahead and run it again. Okay. Love it. Oh, I forgot a semicolon. Okay. Oh. Okay, that's actually really funny. So, apparently the time limit was exceeded, so I think I didn't do my loop right. Because I think it literally just ran forever. That's great. Okay, so this condition didn't work correctly. That's fun. Let's see. So current.next. Well, apparently. Oh, I didn't actually go to the next node. That's hilarious. Okay. We need to set current equal to current next. Okay. Let's try running that again. Okay, memory limit exceeded. Well, that's better. I love it. Okay, so let's see. Why would my memory limit be exceeded? Unfortunately, I don't know where it is. It's possible. I'm going to change that to current equal, not equal to null pointer, because maybe it's trying to go next when it's not able to. It's definitely possible. Okay, well, that's not the case. All right, let's see what happens. I'm going to go ahead and add a print statement just to see how many times this loop is running. Make sure I have a new line there. Okay. And the next time I think I'm going to go ahead and print the value of current just to see where it's at. But I want to see the length of this first, if it'll print it for me. Okay, perfect. Let's see. Oh my gosh. Huh. Well, that's not good. That's definitely way more times than there is in the list. Okay, so there's definitely just something wrong with this condition here. Okay, so well, I have current. Let's see. I guess one thing I can do is find the length of it, but I feel like, okay, you know what? I'm kind of curious to see, because I remember we ran into this with the last problem, and I kind of wanted to see what they did too. Yeah, no, that's right. Okay, maybe it's not traversing like it should be. Current equals current dot next. That should be converting. Okay, let's go ahead and print out the value of current. Okay. I also see another question in the chat. Are you doing LeetCode for fun or are you preparing for an interview? Ooh, that's a great question. For now, I'm doing it for fun. Someday I hope to do it for an interview, but right now it's pretty much just for fun, getting practice. I will say I definitely procrastinated on LeetCode for a long time. So I'm kind of trying to get some more practice into it, and then also trying to help others feel more motivated to work with LeetCode too. Because I know, at least for me, I felt like I was all, by myself, and so I'm kind of hoping that this helps other people feel motivated to keep going with tough problems on LeetCode as well. So yeah, fantastic question. All right, cool. Well, that's hilarious. I definitely did not. Oh, I'm being silly. I need to print current arrow val. Because yeah, I forgot the linked list it's kind of like it's like a struct. So it has a value variable and it has a next variable. Okay, cool. It's definitely just not moving forward after 6. I bet you it's because of how we have this set. I wonder. Okay, let me think this through logically. So the first one, new node.next, we set it to current.net. Wait. Oh, yeah, I think this is part of the code that's broken. Okay, that makes sense. Because yeah, it's just staying stuck at 6, which honestly is probably the new node. I think it's just because we didn't link it back. If this was a doubly linked list, so I think I'm thinking about this like a doubly linked list, because usually you have a next and then a previous pointer, but this only has a next. So, okay. I think this might be backwards, to be honest, because we have new node dot next, and then let me actually see what that does. We'll get rid of this comment. Let's see what's missing, because I'm not sure if it's kind of dividing the linked list or not. Let's see. So if I get rid of that and run that. Okay, this is actually closer. So we've got 6, 10, 3. Oh, interesting. Okay. This is super interesting, actually. Wow, okay. That makes perfect sense. Okay, so yeah, it looks like I'm just not inserting my node correctly into the list. Because yeah, it's just printing 6, 10, 3, which is the remainder of the list, but it's not creating a new node correctly. Which kind of makes sense, because I don't think we have anything, like, maybe we're supposed to do current equals new node? Not sure how I feel about that. I think this is gonna have to require a deeper dive into trying to attach the node correctly. Yep, okay. So, okay, here's what I'm gonna go ahead and do then. I'm gonna go ahead and write a comment here. Okay, so we have to attach the new node dot next to current dot next. And then I'm gonna leave all of us with something to think about. So we need to figure out how to put, okay. So consider how to put new node in between current and current arrow next. And honestly, I think that's literally all we need to do. So, okay, unfortunately, I do have to head out, but I'm gonna keep this tab open and work on it. And honestly, I think once we can get that, that'll be great. If anyone else is stuck on that part too, definitely feel free to send a message on our Discord channel, and then I'll also keep you all updated with this line of code as well. So, and I know, It's only 30 minutes, which is crazy, but it's a fun challenge. And then I think this will get easier and easier as time goes on. But I'll go ahead and keep working on it throughout the day. Same with the Spiral Matrix 4, and I'll keep you all updated. But again, if you have a question, feel free to ask in Discord. We have multiple people in there, so we're building a little community. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day. I will be back tomorrow as well to continue the Daily Community Challenge for another 30 minutes. So without further ado, I will see you all tomorrow at the same time. It'll still be at 10 a.m. PST tomorrow. All right, bye-bye.